Hello there, Dougo, your Success Accelerator, here today with another lesson to help you close more deals, become a sales and negotiating ninja, how to improve your bottom line, and eat more pizza. Just kidding about the pizza. We're going to show you today how to utilize the past to help you move forward. You know, have you ever been in a situation where you've run across a bad employee, or perhaps you needed to work with a subcontractor to do some work, and it was just one of the worst experiences of your life? Have you ever had a deal that you got into that went wrong? Yeah, or perhaps a partnership that went wrong. And perhaps even you've had in the past trouble interacting with customers. Well, what do these all have to do with each other? Well, they're all negative experiences. And although you might not consciously remember each and every time something like that may have happened to you in the past, there's a part of you that does. It's kind of this like, oh, well, you could call it your sidekick, your autopilot, as it were. And every time you get in a similar situation, when you see things happening, you hesitate. And then, bam, another opportunity passes you right by on its way to your competition. Now, it's not as if you consciously are doing this. Again, it's that sidekick. It's that autopilot that's there running in the background. And it remembers these negative experiences you've had in the past. And, well, it wants to keep you from having another negative experience. So, what does that have to do with anything, you might be asking? Well, you know, hey, in life, in business, how many times do you have to deal with other people, employees, subcontractors? Or if you want to become more successful as an investor or as a business person, does that kind of mean you're going to have to get in deals or perhaps even work with other people, sometimes in partnerships, or that you're going to have to interact with customers? It certainly does. And so listen, if you're stuck in the past, if you're dwelling on old things that may have affected you at one time, we call that depression. Frankly, if you're worried about something that's happened and that may happen in the future, well, that's called anxiety. And the challenge with that is if you're stuck in the past or worried about the future, you miss the present opportunities. All right? Because, listen, have you ever spent any time with somebody that was texting someone else? You're sitting there kind of like thinking, what am I, chopped liver? And that other person, you know, they're physically there, but they're mentally somewhere else. And that's what happens to you. Let's say you want to pick up the phone and do a cold call, or you want to go out and meet people to get a deal done, whatever that might look like for you, and you're physically there, and yet what's happening is, excuse me, that autopilot is you're mentally somewhere else. You're thinking about something in the past that you would like to avoid. And again, you might not even consciously be doing that. So what do you do to take care of that? Well, there's 3 easy steps. First and foremost, you got to let go of that old ineffective belief that has to do with that old negative situation. And yet, while it's very, very important to remember certain things about the past, just because, okay, you learned something, and even if that's not what to do, that's very valuable as well. So you want to let go of the old belief about what that meant, and yet preserve the learnings for future, and then you're going to change that feeling from one of stand still or run away to get her done, all right? So you can move forward and get more of what you want out of life. You need to understand this. You see, your mind body creates and uses energy. It's your psychic energy. It's your mind power, if you will. And just like a battery, you only have so much storage capacity. And you see, you got to ask yourself, honestly, how's your level right now? Is it plus or minus? Is it positive or negative? You see, every time something negative happens, and if you choose to hold on to that, well, then it depletes your available supply of positive energy. And the more that happens over life, if you don't find a way to let go of those, eventually your entire available energy is going to be sucked up, living in the past, possibly thinking about something in the future. But you know what? Neither of those will get you where you want to go. It's only when you become good at the art of letting sufferings, negative things go, then you're going to come to realize what you were dragging around you all these years. And you're also going to realize that, you know what, no one other than you was responsible for dragging that stuff around. So what are you dragging behind you that no longer serves you? It could be a incident that happened years ago, and it's that thing that every time you get into a certain situation, it's like, oh my gosh, if they wouldn't have given me peanut butter sandwiches instead of jelly and celery sandwiches, I might be more successful today. Everyone typically has some kind of story you tell yourself over and over and over. It could be that person that done you wrong, whatever it is. Even as far to say as, you might be doing some business practices that worked a while back, and yet they're not working anymore. Is it holding you back? You got to learn how to let that go. And once you let that go, you'll break free and be able to move forward. Because listen, hanging on keeps you connected to that person or situation back there in the past. It's been said that's kind of like letting them live in your head rent-free, right? You don't want that, because what you want to do is you want to learn to let go. Because actually letting go frees you to focus on what you want to do right now. And so the trick is to go out and find, okay, what is that issue that's holding me back? What is that hidden limiting belief that I have about certain things that's causing me to act certain ways? I need to let go of that. And when you find it and you learn how to let go, well, guess what happens? Well, all of a sudden now you have lots more energy available to do the things that you want to do to propel you forward. You see that negative energy, it's kind of like it's reversed. It's keeping you away. It's holding you back. It's repelling you from what you want to do. And the trick is to find those things out, get rid of that, change it. So then in the future, you'll be able to have energy available for you to move forward. You see, it's really like letting go. Letting go of a negative experience is kind of like crossing those monkey bars. Remember those monkey bars that as a kid you jump up and you reach out and you swing and then you swing, and pretty soon you get this rhythm and you kind of like start swinging. Yep, kind of like a monkey. In order to move forward, you got to let go at some point. And it's that momentum of letting go and reaching forward that's going to keep you and let you move forward to the next one. See, there's really no need for you to miss those negative people or situations from your past. There's a reason they didn't make it to the future with you. And so I want you to know your brightest future will always be based on your decision just to go forward in life, to let go of the negative emotions of past failures and heartaches, along with all those hidden limiting thoughts that they created. And you can do that by learning how to change the old feeling associated with that to something better. What do I mean? It's literally flipping your switch for success. And it's a pretty easy 3-step system. First, you need to let go of ineffective old beliefs. Then you preserve the learnings, because again, it's valuable. You learned something, even if that's just what not to do, how to behave in the future, and how to recognize different situations. Once you then find yourself in a situation, let's say that you want to pick up the phone and call some leads. Right? So you know that in order to get a sale, you've got to have a lead. And so you got to call on the phone. And so right now you've got this belief. And let's say, for example, it's that maybe you shouldn't talk to strangers. Well, who's on the other end of that phone? Well, it could be a stranger. And then you feel this energy that's like repelling you. Well, one thing that you can do, and it's been very helpful for a lot of folks, is perhaps you like to drink water. Or maybe you've got like your favorite beverage, a Starbucks or a cup of tea or whatever that is right there on your desk. Well, when you feel that feeling that's kind of like pushing your hand away from the phone, what you want to do is look at that beverage you enjoy so much, pick it up, take a drink, enjoy it, and say, this is what it feels like to cold call. And then you move forward and you pick up that phone. All right? And every time you go to pick up the phone, you pick up that beverage, drink it, enjoy it, and say, And then you say, this is what it feels like to cold call. And then you reach, as you're putting your beverage down, and then you reach for the phone and you pick it up and you dial. And eventually, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to pick up the phone and you go, this is what it feels like to cold call. And it's going to be linked together. Pretty cool, huh? I'm going to be leaving you here with this thought. This is an awesome poem written by Hugh Prather, and I would like you to read it line by line. Think about exactly what he's saying there. And if you got any questions, be sure to contact my office about how to help, that you can get some help if you feel like you're stuck, if you're spinning your wheels and you want to and need to move forward and flip on your switch for success. Until then, I look forward to hearing all about your success. This is Doug O. and I'll see you real soon.